Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Velvet Veil on YouTube. This is our second episode and probably going to be my favorite. So, episode one, if y'all have subscribed and watched, you saw where I did an overview of a paranormal investigation in St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. It was amazing. It was my very first, I guess, official investigation, you could say. And now, episode two, we are going to go over data and analyze it and go over all of the audio and visual evidence that I collected. I did get several for both. Visual, not so much. There's some different things I want to do next time moving forward. I kind of want to video over my thermal imaging camera instead of just taking snapshots. I didn't get anything on that, but I got something on my cell phone. So we'll go over that, but we're going to go over some audio first. And I thought that I would kind of give a little bit of backstory on some of this, what got me to those points in the investigation, and kind of what I was feeling, what I was observing. And I know I've shared some of this stuff on TikTok and Instagram, just some little like splurts, kind of a little bit of explanation, but I thought we'd, really hit it a little heavier on YouTube. So the first audio recording I got was in the electroshock therapy room. Um, and y'all, I was up there by myself most of the time. My group entirely and the guides were all downstairs in the bowling alley boiler room. So I had the electroshock therapy room to myself, which was really nice. There's no background, there's no other noises you're going to catch from people walking by or anything like that. And my mic for my digital recorder is very sensitive. I've notated, which is amazing. Um, but it also made things a little difficult. I had to throw out a ton of audio. Hello, everyone. I am back. Um, I have a 3-year-old. I think y'all knew this. So yeah, there may be some interruptions between him and the dog. Y'all saw this last time. Um, but no, anyways, I was saying that my recorder is very, very sensitive, which is amazing. Which means I got incredible evidence, but also it means that I picked up people asking questions and investigating on their own from totally different rooms, different areas, which is a little crazy. So I had to throw out a ton of recordings, which was really sad. And it was a little frustrating. And that's what I talked about in episode one was there was just so much going on in like the hotspot areas that like I couldn't investigate. And it in turn did. It skewed a lot of my evidence. And I'm not going to try to like make anything out of my evidence. I want my paranormal investigations to be as authentic as possible. Um, so yeah, but so keep that in mind moving forward that most of these recordings are solo. I'm by myself because I couldn't even focus and listen, y'all, to the recordings where there are multiple people near me, or I could catch echoes and stuff. It just, I don't know. I don't think it does very well for credibility. So these are all by myself. So keep that in mind moving forward. But electroshock therapy room. So in there by myself, and they say that in the electroshock therapy room, patients they wouldn't be fed before before the investigations. They wouldn't be fed before the experiments took place. And so they kind of knew what they were going into before it happened, which is really sad. And that's what I was addressing in the questioning. I was addressing, are there any patients in here with me? That I just couldn't understand this kind of treatment, that I felt really bad. I felt sorry. Um, yeah, my questioning sometimes is a lot of just me talking. It's not really like inquiries like that. And I think sometimes you get better feedback. But I had asked earlier, and so I'll show you, I'll let you listen to the audio recording I captured. But I'd asked earlier in the investigation, like, is there anyone in here with me? Were you a patient? All these questions. And then I kind of go into, I feel so bad. Like I feel so bad for like anyone who had to go through this. And that's when I caught, and y'all have seen me post it, of an incredible audio recording of just a straight up no. It is amazing, and I'm gonna play it, and hopefully it transfers really well. I've tested this a few times, but we'll see. But yeah, and then I'll on YouTube, y'all, you can post stuff on YouTube too, which is so I'll post like pictures of like the visual too. That's gonna be kind of hard to see. I haven't really figured that out yet, But I'm going to post some of this stuff up there too, so y'all have got it. Even if it's not an episode, I'm going to post these audio recordings on YouTube, so you'll have it. But let's go ahead and play this first one in the electroshock therapy room.
Sorry, anyone had to go through that just for nervous or mental treatments.
Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear that. But they say no. Immediately in frame 33, no. And I it, it didn't really like correlate with what I was asking. It didn't really go along with it. But yeah, I don't know. It was very, very clear. And I don't really know how to work some of these recording platforms. These like I think I have mine on GarageBand right now. And this is not what that is for. I clearly, y'all, I know this. I'm learning. Deal with me. Um, but GarageBand is really good for like seeing like the frequencies and the vocal tones and things of that nature. And y'all, it's a flat line. All of my recordings, all of my audio recordings, except for one I'll show a little bit later, it's a total flat line, which is just crazy to me that, I mean, this my digital recorder is picking up voices from other rooms, but it, and showing them and showing the frequencies and the tones. But for most of these audio recordings of the paranormal, it's not showing anything. So like, I just like, and I probably couldn't hear it if I had played it in my headphones. I probably wouldn't have picked up on the no. It's very faint, but it's clear. It's very clear to me. I'm gonna try to play it again. Hopefully, it's loud enough again. We'll try to hear it.
I had to go through that.
And I'm just like
just for
apologizing,
nervous or mental treatments.
It's just crazy, y'all. So yeah, that was the electroshock therapy room. I I don't know. I didn't know I heard it. And so a few seconds later, literally right now, hold on.
Bye.
I'm like, bye. Okay. Like, have a good one. Because and I also, some of the people there were recording and listening back, which was smart because if you're getting evidence, I guess you can respond. I'm not even talking to the mic right now. Clearly I don't know what I'm doing. No, but I guess, it is smart to listen back on some of these things because it's not a spirit box. You're not hearing it out loud. The digital recorders you do have to listen to in like some headphones, which is really smart to do, I think, because at that point you can kind of start a conversation or try to because you're getting responses and you're hearing them. Who knows? We could have had a full on conversation, but I didn't hear it. It was just that low. But yeah, that was the electroshock therapy room. Super happy about that one. And now we're going to go to, let me get this fixed up. Okay, the hydrotherapy room. Okay, so hydrotherapy room is what it is exactly what it sounds like. Okay, another experimental thing for these patients, unfortunately. So in the hydrotherapy room, again, we had two different levels we could investigate on. Of course, when we get there, the guide and all of my team, which is fine. Again, I'm not hating, but it was just really hard for me to want to investigate by myself. It was very hard to get like individual things done and readings and whatnot. But they all crammed into this hydrotherapy room, absolutely crammed into it. Some were sitting in the tubs because it's a hot spot, y'all. Things happen there. So they were all sitting in it. I mean, and y'all, I'm talking everyone. And then there were people. So when you first walk down the stairs, there's a enclosed room where the tub is at. I mean, obviously it's a really tall tub in the hydrotherapy room. Okay. And then you have like a weird plexiglass screened in area, which kind of looks like a little secretary, like nurses station, I guess, kind of thing like that. And then you have rooms and there's lockers in the back too, but you have rooms on both sides. And let me paint the picture. So all of these rooms do not have doors in them. Clearly, I mean, it's totally abandoned, but there's no doors in them. And so I'm thinking these are like patient cells. Maybe some of them had bathrooms in them, if not all of them. No, just some of them had like a sink in it. But anyways, So I'm assuming that's what this is for, kind of like not isolation, but just like maybe a patient waiting room, or they were down there maybe for other treatments. I'm not sure. So, and then there's a big middle open area. And so my group piled into the hydrotherapy room. They're piled into the middle section because there's chairs set up. The tour, they have chairs set up so you can sit and do your investigations and listen and sense and all the things, which is really great. Um, so your girl went upstairs to the morgue. I did all this other stuff, and I finally got back down. There was like 5 minutes left to go in that section, which was I was really bummed. But anyways, so I'm down there. Everyone else is moving upstairs to go to these other places, right? That they hadn't been to because they've been in the hydrotherapy the whole time. Again, totally fine. So I'm down there by myself. I'm in the middle area. Rooms are, across from me, left and right side. Um, and I start talking. I don't have my digital recorder on right now. I have my EMF reader out. Okay. And I picked up a little bit. It just a little spike, nothing crazy, nothing to me that really even showed like, oh, paranormal. Like it wasn't even that big of a spike, but I did notice it went up. Okay. Um, and so my questions, so there's a capture that I got, and I got an audio recording of I y'all can determine what it is, what you think it is. I know what I think it is, but I captured something. And then right after, I start to go into questions and I start asking, like, oh, well, are you in one of these rooms? Did you just come by me? Because when I saw the spike, I was like, oh, I need to get out my digital recorder and start asking questions, see if I can capture anything. Because it spiked a little bit, and who knows, it could have been just a weird anomaly. It could have been just like a little spike. I don't know. Picking up on something else. But I wanted to make sure I captured it because, of course, I wasn't recording on a few EMF spikes, which is okay, which is fine. So y'all have to go on my word, which is, trust me, believe me, please. Um, so this, I'm going to try to play it and I hope y'all can hear it. It's actually pretty loud. This one is actually very loud. I think you'll be able to hear it just fine. Again, I'll upload recordings onto YouTube too. Um, and then following, I'm like, oh, like, did y'all just walk by me? Are you in one of these rooms? I didn't hear this, didn't hear it. Um, but yeah, so let me play this for you. Remember, this is the hydrotherapy room. Let's see if it plays correctly.
You can come back out of the room.
Crazy, insane. Sorry for interruption number two. It's just gonna happen, and it's fine. We just keep on moving. But yeah, I know y'all heard that. That is crazy. That's not a voice, and that's not human. I know what it is. Y'all, we'll play again, and y'all can form your own opinions.
You can come back out of the room.
The heck, you better not come back out of that room. Y'all, that's crazy. That's like, that's a growl. That is a full on growl. That's not a voice. That's not words. There's no one down there with me. There are no doors swinging open. There's no drafts. That's a growl. I don't know if it's demonic. I don't know. I don't know what it would be. Other than that, truly, I don't. But that is insane. And of course, I'm just starting to ask questions. Like the rest of the recording is just me just talking, asking questions because I got that EMF spike. And then I'm like, oh, did y'all just walk by me? Did you just come out of a room, go back into a room? Um, and I didn't capture anything else. So I'm hoping that they walked by me and left or went back into another room and didn't come out. Um, that was scary. That was so intense to listen to. And it took me a minute because, like, I'm going through these, of course, and like, I'm assuming when I actually start to engage in questioning, that's when I'll get the answers, not beforehand. I'm not like, I almost went by this one because I just wasn't expecting it. And then I finally caught it because I was like, oh, this is a hot spot. Like, how cool would it be to get something, from this room, this area, right? So I just didn't like, even though it's loud as heck, I just didn't pick up on it. And then when I finally reviewed it again, I was like, oh my gosh. And I know I put this up on Instagram. I know I put this up on TikTok. Um, but y'all, it is frightening. Like it is so frightening. Anyways, so out of probably, I think I probably had about 15 digital recordings. Um, I had to throw away probably five because of echo and the group talking, and voices and other people stepping. And I just want to be as authentic as I can. And even like steps like that, like I could hear it. I'm like, oh, what is that noise? Is that something? And then I'm like, no, they're walking. Like there has to be some discernment when you analyze this data. And of course, this is my first investigation. So I wanted to get y'all all the things. I wanted to find all the things, but some investigations may not yield anything. I mean, like they just may not. And that doesn't mean it's not haunted. That just means maybe you just didn't capture anything. So it's one of those things like I have to keep in mind as I move forward with these investigations that it may not always be fruitful or what I want, or it may not be as loud or as forthcoming as these have been. And you do like I had to like get all quiet, all by myself, like no noises, no nothing. I had to push the dogs away, like my child to bed, because like like the no and the electroshock therapy room, I could hear it on the recording as is with the volume all the way up, but I had to like really like I don't know, crank it up like just like put my ear at the speaker of my MacBook like just to capture it. I mean, and maybe as I go forward, I'll get some better technology to better enhance some of these. I did my best, on these like audio clip bits and like videos I put up on social media, but uh we'll get there. This is my first one, y'all. We'll get there. So that is it for audio. And then for visual. So I captured something in, let's see, cool. I captured something in the alcoholics ward. Okay. And again, um, the alcoholics ward, it just had like one main congregation area and a lot of isolation rooms, a lot of sobriety rooms, right? So when people were brought there, and that they were alcoholics or were having withdrawals or like, on drugs, um, they got put there until they were totally sober. Um, so while I was down there, the group, of course, is doing their thing. We're going to have to pause for interruption number three. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry. I promise this was the third and final interruption. Um, no, y'all, Dragon Tail's cut off and his bowl with Pringles was empty. Sorry, guys, we had to pause for that. Um, life of a toddler mom. No, it's great. But anyways, so alcoholics ward, okay? So you've got all that main area where the isolation rooms, the main like foyer area. Okay. Well, they're doing their thing in the hot spot. No shame, no no hate on it. Uh, so I went off on my merry way by myself. And there are these long hallways, y'all, in the sanatorium. There's probably more than four. I don't know. That's what my brain's pointing at right now. Four main, like these long stretch of hallways, right? And they're called peekaboo hallways. And they're called peekaboo hallways. I may have talked about this in episode one. I'm not sure, but we're going to just talk about it again because I've got the time to do it. So peekaboo hallways basically are where you can look straight down. There's door frames, door openings on every side for all these like rooms. And if you simultaneously click your camera or thermal imaging camera, maybe, you could possibly get a spirit like poking its head out, right? Peekaboo. So that is what those rooms, that hallway, like that's I guess that's just a common like way to capture evidence is just those clicks, and then you're probably going to get some kind of like a sighting, basically. So I had an experience stepping at the beginning of one of those peekaboo hallways. Okay, so the two hallways I investigated upstairs, peekaboo hallways, it was light. It was still like 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock ish. So it was still sunny outside, so there was some light pouring in. So the hallways weren't so scary. Okay. This was downstairs. There's no light. Um, a little freaky, a little freaky. But anyway, so I like they're doing their thing. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go down these hallways. I'm gonna go do my thing. There's like a straight hallway and then one that wraps around and connects. So it's like kind of like a D shape, honestly. Anyways, so I start down and I literally step into like the threshold this like of this hallway. And on this arm, I get this burning sensation on my bicep, like a sting burn. And I'm like, of course, like some freaking bug or something has stung me. Didn't really see a ton of bugs like in the sanatorium while we were doing our things, or like I'm sure there's spiders and stuff, but just wasn't really, I didn't really see them. Um, so I like lift up my sleeve, my flannel. I have like a little flannel. I'm looking, there's nothing red there. There's nothing like bit there. There's nothing. And I'm like, what was that? And I guess I grabbed my arm, and one of the guides behind me saw me do it. And she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She was like, "Well, I just saw you grab your arm." She was like, "Did you feel something?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't think so." And um she was like, "Well, okay, like if you know, if you feel some kind of way." And this was like our second to last a section for investigating too. So like we had gone through a lot of stuff. 3 sections already. And so, she was like, "Well, if you need anything, like, let me know, whatever." I was like, "Okay." So I kind of like shook it off, and I like out loud, I was like, "Does someone just not want me in this hallway?" And um, I kid you not, probably 10 minutes before this happened, I was looking in the hallway that kind of wraps, not the straight peekaboo. And as I had like turned my head a little bit down at the end of the peekaboo hallway, I swear, I saw some kind of like a white, gray mass, shadowy thing like swipe by, like in my peripheral. Okay. I don't know. There's no other groups down there. No one is walking down there. I'm the only one out there. They're all in the main, alcoholics ward area. Okay. So there's no one else down there. I swear I saw that, but also like just trickery. I don't know. I don't know. I can't prove that one. Can't prove it. It's just in my mental imaging. Um, But after she, saw me grab my, like, I was kind of like, what was that? After she saw that, she kind of left and went back into the alcoholics ward. Um, I start clicking, y'all. I start clicking. I do my thing for the Peekaboo hallway. I do it. Don't look at them. Y'all don't look at any of this evidence. I'm telling y'all until I pretty much get home. That's that following day, that Sunday. So get home that Sunday. My sister, who loves ghost adventures, loves the paranormal too. Like she's great. She was like, she just like took my phone. She was like, "Well, let me look at this stuff." She she found some of these things that I captured down in the Peekaboo hallway, downstairs in the alcoholics ward. Okay, she's the one who saw it. So credit to you, sis. Thanks a lot. Because I don't know if I would have paid attention, y'all. I just don't know if I would have paid attention to it. Um, but obviously, I have a ton of still pictures facing down there. And I had a few at the beginning that were a little bit zoomed, that were like way far out, right? And so you can see, and I'll post these too. You can see where there's like a metal vent up top. And all I have right there in those, and let me tell you, all I have right there is my flashlight in my arm like this. So it's shining out, and I'm snapping pictures with my right. Okay. Um, Under my left, snapping with my right. So I've got pictures of like a vent up top. It's very, very faint, and you'll see the pictures. And then underneath in the pitch blackness, there's this like ball mass of like gray. Okay. That's all I can describe it as. I have no better words than those. Um, and I will circle and point out the vent and the things I'm talking to. Okay. And then in the next photo, yeah, I'm looking at these now too, y'all. Maybe I can hold these up. Maybe y'all can see them. You no longer see the vent because I've zoomed in just a little bit, and you just see the gray like dot circle mass thing. Okay, crazy, but it's there in 2 different frames. It's there, and she caught it. And I don't know what it is. I've posted those on my social medias too already. Have no clue. Went down a rabbit hole Googling with my flashlight, can this do this? And I don't think it can. I I don't think it can do that. I don't think it can cause that reflection. There's nothing. The vent was metallic, but like it was pitch black. There was nothing. And let me see if y'all can see this. Okay. Where's my charger? Okay. So, oh, y'all can see my little light. Hello. Um, this is so not professional. We will figure this out. There's the vent that I circled. So you can see a picture in the hallway, like it's very backed out, right? Like I'm not like zoomed in down the hallway. And then, and I point out the vent in that picture. Let's turn this brightness up, y'all. Jeez. Okay. Okay. And I've zoomed in a little bit. I do not like that light. If that light wasn't there, this could be really cool. Pointed out the vent up top, and then I have circled the gray mass that's under it, where you can start to see it. And I love that this is a sequence of pictures. Like, it's not like random, like, oh, the third and the 10th, which I guess it wouldn't matter if it was, but I just love that these were sequenced. Anyways, I thought that was important for y'all to know. No vent, just mass. Hmm. And I will be posting these on the channel too, so y'all can see it's maybe like a little slideshow so you can see like the progression. Um, Let me get my mic back out because this is so fun to do. But yeah, so basically, I don't know what that one is. I don't know. I don't know if it. And the reason I told you the story of my arm is, and like that I had seen in my peripherals, just to kind of like, I don't know, make some points about it. I don't know if they relate. I don't know if it's the same thing, a coincidence. I don't know. So that is the only visual evidence I got, and I got it on my cell phone, which was great. I really wanted some evidence on my thermal camera. I really, really did. Um, but again, I think I'm gonna have to do something different with it. I didn't realize until after the investigation that I could do I think it will video. I'm not sure. Or like it'll do short snippets like almost like your phone when it has like the live photos. It's seconds, you know what I mean, before and a little bit after. I think it will do something like that. But I'm gonna have to do something totally different with that because I feel like I could have got some really good stuff, y'all. And I didn't have it figured out. But again, first investigation. So we have visual, we have audio. St. Albans was incredible for a first investigation. You know, learned a lot. Definitely want some newer, more expensive equipment. But no, it was fantastic. It gave me all I wanted. I felt legit. I felt like, sorry guys, I thought we were done with the interruptions. But like I was saying, you know, you watch all these paranormal investigations on TV, online, you hear their evidence, their debriefing, their analyzation of everything, and you're just like, is this real? And of course you're like, yeah, it's real. Like, heck yeah, it's real. Like they debunked all these other things, and you just don't know. You don't know if it's true. You don't know if it's for entertainment purposes, and then you go investigate yourself, and then you get these visuals, these audio recordings that you cannot explain, that you cannot prove or debunk, like the prove that they're just like an anomaly, just a weird noise, just a something that happened there in like the elements. You can't prove that, and the only thing that you can describe it as is paranormal. And so I don't know, I think that it really opened my eyes as a beginning amateur investigator. Um, like you want to believe this stuff is real, and then you go and do this, and then you're like, holy shit, like this is this is real. And you believe in it, but then when you get evidence, it's like actions speak louder than words. Like, we can say all day these things are like real and true and all these things, and like I've seen these things, and it's like, where's the evidence? And again, you may not always get evidence, but like, y'all, this is crazy, and this was amazing. For a first investigation, it was wonderful, and I am so excited to figure out location number two that I'm going to go investigate. So y'all stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed both episodes on St. Albans Sanatorium. I loved making them. This obviously is going to be way better quality than episode one. And I'll definitely try to do things differently moving forward. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. I'll try to post up some videos with the actual evidence as well as maybe some pictures. I'm still working YouTube. But yeah, y'all stay tuned and thanks again.